It's Saturday morning. It's time for the Experts Program. That means our tech expert, Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us again on Power Talk Radio. Luis, welcome back.
Thank you, Mark. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Got any fun stuff going on this weekend?
Oh, yeah. We're going to be going out to Carmel. They're doing that art and wine thing all day. Late in the afternoon, I think, in Carmel, where you can go into art studios and drink some wine and, just kind of stroll around the streets. And then I have, this is the time of year when boat maintenance becomes a thing.
Oh, yes.
You have to spend some time getting your boat ready for next year because there's not a whole lot of sailing going on this time of year.
Okay, so pretty much done for the sailing season now.
Yeah, we're done. The Wednesday night races are done, and then the weekend races. We just had the final race last month. So the series now will, if it's a good day, we'll go out there just for fun. But all of the competitive stuff is done for the year.
Okay. Well, today I'll be in Marina all day because we have the final big car show of the year, which is the Cars in the Park at DiMaggio Park. And DiMaggio Park is that city park in Marina right behind the traffic court building on Del Monte Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, the Marina Rotary Foundation hosts this car show. It's a fundraiser for the foundation, and they have over 200 cars that are going to be on display today. Classics, antiques, hot rods, muscle cars, and so forth. So,
wow.
Looking forward to that. It's going to run from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. today, so it's always a lot of fun.
Yes, that sounds like a lot of fun. I love car shows when you get to see all these cars that you will, one, never own, but two, you just not have an opportunity to ever see anywhere else.
That's right. And you don't see them out too much anymore, just on weekends here and there. And so it's kind of neat to take a look at them and the restorations that people have done. Gosh, we were looking at a 32 Crown Vic, a Ford Crown Victoria. They were making them back in the 30s. We always think of the Crown Victoria as a car that from the 80s because so many police agencies used them. But the Crown Victoria goes all the way back to the 1930s. And there's a fellow in Seaside who has one. It's a beautiful car. It's painted this brandywine red. And I remember talking to him about, actually the guy that painted the car was telling me how he painted it in pieces. So they took the fenders off, the doors off, the hood, everything was done in pieces and then put back together so that you wouldn't get rust. And you made sure that you had good coverage. And there are like 9 coats of paint on the car.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It was done, I remember them saying that they painted the car like 25 years ago. And at that point, it was a $30,000 job.
Crazy. Well, you gotta be passionate about your hobbies, right?
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of vehicles, Elon Musk is at it again, and yesterday he unveiled the long-awaited Tesla Robotaxi, an autonomous vehicle that would take the place of the ubiquitous yellow cab, right?
Yeah, that's his idea. Elon is known for thinking really big, and he's predicted for a long time that autonomous cars are going to be the future. He famously predicted that by 2021, you'd be able to have a completely autonomous Tesla drive you around without you having to worry about touching the wheel. Well, that hasn't happened yet. So he announced the Robotaxi vehicles that he says are going to start being constructed in the very near future in Texas and California. What makes these different than the traditional Tesla is that they'll have no steering wheel, they'll have no pedals. It'll basically be just car seats with the idea that these cars are going to drive themselves using the technology that they developed before, but also incorporating generative AI to navigate roads and make sure you get to where you need to go without crashing. He says that it'll be available sometime in 2027, but we might actually see it a little bit later than that if his track record is any indication.
Wow. So I'm wondering how this is going to come over, particularly with politicians. And you would imagine that companies like Lyft and Uber might not necessarily agree with this, or they might go for it whole hog. Certainly traditional cab companies probably aren't as interested in it. Certainly cab drivers aren't.
No, I think traditional cab companies will definitely fight this, and you might see some regulatory action around it. However, like rideshare companies, this will solve their biggest problem, which is how to get the human cost out of the equation. Because if they can do that, they can reduce the price of their fares and then not have to worry about having drivers readily available. They can just flood the zone, if you will, with a bunch of autonomous vehicles that will all be ready to get a ride anytime somebody needs one.
Right. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to worry about, is there a driver available? Is there someone who wants to pick up that fare? And one of the other things that also, where this could be a positive, is for people who live in high crime areas. Oftentimes, cab drivers and Lyft and Uber drivers are reluctant to travel to certain areas. They just won't go into those particular neighborhoods because they fear for their own safety. If you have an autonomous vehicle and somebody lives in a bad neighborhood, so to speak, and they need a ride, it'd be easier for them to get one because that cab will show up at whatever time that they want it, regardless of the safety of the neighborhood. And since there's no steering wheel or gas pedal, you can't steal it.
Yeah, you can't do anything with it. If you might mess with it and damage it, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. And I think also when you think about riders that sometimes are reluctant to hail rideshare late in the evening or on weekends, especially if you're a woman, because you're concerned that something bad might happen. This is also going to alleviate that strain because you're going to be able to not have to worry about the driver of your vehicle because the vehicle basically drives itself.
Really interesting. And by the way, Musk is saying these vehicles will sell for below $30,000. So it must be some sort of really bare bones kind of electric vehicle autonomous. And they are electric, correct?
Yeah, they're electric. And the idea of a taxi, when you think about it, when you pick up a rideshare, unlike your own car, you're not really concerned about the audio system or all the fancy bells and whistles. You basically are just going from point A to point B. So if you can strip out all of that luxury component of a vehicle, it becomes pretty inexpensive. So I think that's why he's predicting that the price is going to be way lower than EVs are today.
Right. And of course, you just want it to be clean and comfortable.
That's it.
Great story. Luis Alvarez from the Alvarez Technology Group joining us today as we're talking about the autonomous taxi cab. It's on its way, maybe by the year 2027 or maybe even sooner. And before we get out of here, Luis, you wanted to mention that there is a special event that you're involved with coming up next weekend, and that would be the weekend of the 18th and the 19th and 20th at Rancho Cielo. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm on the board of the Rancho Cielo Youth Camp, and we are having our second annual Jazz at the Ranch event, which is taking place over those 3 nights. We have a great lineup. Chris Kane on Friday, Sarah McKenzie, the Monterey Jazz Festival Regional All-Star Combo, and on Sunday, the headliner is Los Lobos.
Oh, neat.
And tickets are available if you want to go to Rancho Cielo. Just Google Rancho Cielo Youth Camp and you'll find it. It's ranchocieloyc.org. And so you can buy tickets online, and you can buy either series tickets for the entire weekend, or you can buy single day tickets for just the shows that you want to attend. It's going to be a great event, and there's going to be amazing food that'll be included, and adult beverages will be available for purchase.
Great. Now, are these indoor or outdoor shows?
So this is an outdoor venue. It's the arena that was built thanks to the generous donations of many of the supporters of Rancho Cielo. It's a beautiful outdoor amphitheater.
Okay, sure.
With a great stage, and it's going to be, the forecast is for mid-70s, so clear skies, beautiful evening, and it's a great venue, and you're supporting a really good cause by supporting Rancho Cielo.
Okay, so Friday's an evening event, but Saturday and Sunday are daytime, or the evening on Saturday as well?
So it starts at 3:30. Doors open at 3:30 on all 3 days. We have opening acts and then the headliners. And, like I said, there'll be plenty of food. We'll have, all sorts of local chefs cooking. Chef Todd is going to be out there from the meadery on Sunday doing some great food for the Los Lobos night. But check it out and pick the night you want to come, or come all 3 nights. I'll be out there.
All right, ranchocieloyc.org is the website. And Luis, looking ahead to Monday, what's on the agenda?
Yeah, so if you own a home or are thinking of buying a home, you consider many factors. Now you're going to have the opportunity to consider the climate risk of that property, or even check out the climate risk of the property you already own on Zillow. So tune in and you'll learn more.
All right, starting at 8:30 on Monday morning. It's alvareztg.com. At alvareztg is the X handle, and Luis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326.